Main idea is responsibility. The main idea of responsibility is being able to withhold on your own, being able to go on your own, become an individual able to do anything with his or her life. Having this type of responsibility, being able to pay your wages to society, to keep your house, all of this stuff is actually quite important, especially to everybody who is on another path. There are many different paths within life that you can choose and nurture within yourself and try to find oneness. Or if you want to be dual and have two different ideas of yourself, the shadow and the light, you can do that too. But the shadow is just your reflection. And in some cultures, it's a rejection of your innermost self. Sometimes you have to accept that and figure out, and there's a lot of darkness within, spiritual darkness. Maybe I'm talking about dark night of the soul, trying to figure out who you truly are in this crisis called awakening. And then you figure out that it's not all love and light. If you want to be a New Ager, you're going to figure out that it's all not love and light, because, again, the Egyptians believed in Amit, and if your heart was sour and evil, you would be eaten alive by a hippo monster. And a lot of things like that. There's a lot of evil within this type of stuff, and when you say evil, you gotta understand what evil truly is, and really evil is just a perspective. It's just a word that you tack onto things. Because in the end, there is no evil. And we've been seeing this again and again in society. A lot of the sheep want to believe in evil, but they don't know what is the true word, what the true meaning of evil is, because it's based on actions and not ideas. It is based on what someone would personally dislike. It is action. And if you personally dislike darkness, the satanic evil, or whatever else your creepy, crazy little exorcist mind goes to, your Christian-ass mind goes to, then that is what evil will perceive you to be. And they will haunt you. Because you're tacking onto a word, a non-existent word, onto something that's not in action, like demons, or the devil, or anything like that. They are not actions. You're psychologically decombusting and destroying your own psychological self by tacking evil onto something someone else would be good. Like my last video, I was talking about the spirits of the desert. Well, a lot of Christians can say desert really means devil. The entire idea and what's going on really in this earth right now is that a lot of structure people are placing around the idea of evil is being removed from their feet. And the very truth that it's not evil will slowly destroy their psychological way of mentality, basically, because of this. It's called self-destruction. It's self-deceit, because in the end, your structure will be removed, and everything you were deceitful about or hypocritical about will be shown in your face. And that is the entire alchemical point of the rise of witchcraft and Satanism and voodoo and all this, is because it is a psychic turnaround, which will actually slowly reverse your face, your fake-ass mask of societal control, and turn it around you and make you look at yourself. And then they will start, it's called psychological decomposition. Because religious people often represent hypocrisy. And you can kind of tell how they were psychologically would formulate that. So once you start magically affecting, or psychologically affecting, it's the psychological effect of removing a structure. because it is their own self-destruction. They are psychologically out of tune, out of whack, constantly, and it's their own fault. I have nothing to do with it. Witches don't have anything to do with it. The devil has nothing to do with it. But, and again, it's just showing them how hypocritical they are. Because, I mean, you see those Christians that if you start debasing their values, not into their face, but behind their back, or debasing their values anywhere else, they will get, like, kind of hypocritically violent on you, even though they preach that they're love. That is another good point. And you know what? Some people will make, with opposite of Christian values, to actually make them see it. Make them see that they are hypocritically violent in certain cases. I mean, it's to the point where they think the devil's against them so much that they would view a teenager, an innocent teenager, or an innocent kid that calls them out on their own hypocrisy to be the force of the devil. It's because of that spiritual unalignment, the lack of alignment there, will actually be their subtle destruction. And I am serious. I've actually know people in real life that think the spirits of the desert are demonic spirits, and they probably are. They probably are. But in reality, those spirits are like javelinas, bears, coyotes, wolves, and other animals on the Native American totem that represent strength in nature. Okay, do they not want you to be strong? Like, some people would actually go out and befriend a javelina. You know, would go out in the desert and read a book about lycanthropic transformation and befriend. What if they're just saying it's evil and satanic so you don't know. So you won't know. It's out of your vocabulary, right? I mean, like, then there's a whole bunch of psychological effects too, about wanting to believe this, wanting to believe that, to the point where they will do anything for that belief. So you always got to be careful at what you believe in, what you're passionate about, and always have a lot of fortitude, mental strength about how powerful you really are in this world. You always got to inspire everybody else. Inspire everybody else.